I think it's really quite pathetic you using Sonny's kids when you have all the evidence you need.
Jax, the trial is not over, and your wife may have produced a masterpiece of perjury, but I got a 24-hour postponement to bring in my own star witness, the eyewitness. Michael's testimony is going to change everything.
You have been stuck on Michael since the beginning of this trial. But you didn't see anything, Claire. Take it from me, okay? And leave it alone.
Dante's known where Michael has been the whole time. He just didn't have motivation to bring him in. But now he can, because he knows without Michael's testimony, his entire case, all of his undercover work is wasted, and Sonny walks.
How many kids do you intend to put through hell to get what you want?
Do you mean what we want? Jax, the only reason why I put Morgan on the stand is because I couldn't get Michael, and now I can. If Dante produces Michael, he's going to get us the conviction. Us, Jax. This is what you wanted. You wanted Sonny in prison. Now, I'm sorry that I was forced to do things in a way that you don't approve of, but you cannot protect your stepson and put Sonny away at the same time. Jax, when you recruited me for this case, you made it very clear what you wanted to happen. Sonny in prison.
Not at the expense of my stepson.
Jax, you're a businessman. You know how this works. In order for people to succeed, they have to do whatever it takes to get the job done. And that means being ruthless sometimes.
Well, clearly our definition of ruthless is not the same, because I don't use children, Claire.
It may not be something that I'm proud of, but I ran out of options. And Michael's testimony is essential for a guilty verdict because he was there. Every cop who spoke to him, who's questioned him, believes he knows the truth.
You have no idea what this will do to Michael.
It will free Michael from Sonny's violence, and this is exactly what you wanted to put into motion. Finally, Michael and his whole family, they're gonna feel safe. Oh, great, this is my cue to get going.
Oh, no, you should stay. Because I have a few things to say to you without a judge and a jury around. So, federal prosecutor Walsh. Let me tell you what I think about
Carly,
you pulling
Carly,
my...
No,
Don't
Jax,
think it's
don't worry
good.
about it. I'm perfectly fine dealing with your soon-to-be ex-wife. Fire away.
You're going to pay. And pay dearly for what you did to Morgan.
Is that a threat?
No, and I'm just getting started.
Oh, so I suppose you think it's perfectly fine that you paraded your baby into the courtroom as a play for sympathy.
You put a 12-year-old boy on the witness stand and twisted his words, knowing he'd blame himself if he sent his father to prison.
You want to talk about twisting words? You just committed perjury to defend a mob kingpin who makes their children targets, who got one of them shot. What kind of mother are you?
The kind of mother who knows how to play the jury, and you're choking on it. You tried every trick in the book to get me flustered and mess up my testimony, but it didn't work. I beat you. Sonny's gonna walk out of that courtroom a free man, and with any luck, you'll be trying cases in East Calpine, Montana. Or you'll be out of a job altogether.
Best of luck. She's a real peach.
Don't you want to follow your girlfriend?
You know, you don't have to lie for Sonny in court.
I didn't lie for Sonny. None of this is for Sonny. It's for Michael. What the hell did
Before
you
you
get,
go
Jax?
on and on about how much I don't like Michael, you should know that I was the one who stopped Ronnie from finding him at the island, okay?
Only because you don't want Michael's confession to exonerate Sonny.
No.
Be honest.
No. I did it because I love Michael. And I will always be grateful to him for saving you and our little girl. Just grab me a draft, please.
I'll have another one too, please.
Great.
Everything okay?
My wife was supposed to come down and meet me for a drink, but she's opted to stay home.
Life is full of disappointments and annoyances. Some big ones, little ones, lost causes.
Any cause in particular we're talking about here?
Let's just say it gets pretty frustrating when you're trying to do the right thing. And somewhere along the way, you just push too hard trying to get what you want, and You find yourself compromised in ways you've never imagined.
I'm sorry.
See? You did
No,
remember.
really, I'm 45 minutes late. I'm really
Well,
sorry.
they assured us that they hold our table. You are, after all, the owner, so. It looks like you've had quite a day.
Is it that obvious?
Hardly.
Me? I'm starting to second guess myself.
Something you're definitely not accustomed to.
Yeah, right. I don't like the feeling. It looks like that risk I took is not going to pay off.
Well, I've been reading all about Sonny's trial in the newspaper. I thought it was all going in your favor.
It was, until Carly testified. Apparently she was so convincing, it's guaranteed that something's going to walk.
Oh, come on. You can't be sure about that.
No, I can't be sure about it. I'm just starting to wonder, even if I get my way and Sonny goes to prison for the rest of his life, was it all worth it? I knew that when Sonny went to trial for Claudia's murder, he would pull out all the stops, so I did the same. I called in some favors and brought in the best federal prosecutor I could find, Clem Walsh.
I know. I read about her in the paper.
Yeah, she was perfect for the case. Young, ambitious, and she would never accept defeat.
Just what you needed.
Yes and no. I never expected her to put Morgan on the stand or base her entire case around Michael.
Well, it stands to reason, doesn't it? Sonny has no boundaries. How can you expect the prosecutor, the person trying to convict him, to have any?
I'm just starting to think maybe I should put a stop to the whole thing.
Jax, how would you do that?
Well, I know people, you know. I can make some calls, call in some more favors, and maybe I can get the judge to declare a mistrial or something.
Can I ask you something? Why did you start all this?
Keep my family out of the line of fire?
Exactly. Now, if you stop this and Sonny goes free, is that going to happen?
No.
Well, then my advice to you is to stay the course, despite your misgivings. And isn't this trial, however difficult, more important than Morgan or Jocelyn being hurt by what Sonny does? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I know that look. There's something you're not telling me. What aren't you telling me?
There is something, but I can't tell you. I just know that if it blows up in my face, my marriage is way more over than it is now.
Oh. Well, then I guess that simplifies things. You have to answer the question. What's more important to you? Your war against Sonny? Or keeping your family?
Have you ever taken an ethics class?
My professor's favorite question when we were faced with a hypothetical dilemma was, would you do this in front of your mother? Shortened up the yes column.
Lesson 1. The end does not justify the means. Sending a man to prison, even if he deserves to go, doesn't mean you should stalk or bully his kids. Or does it?
I gotta be honest with you. I know you're talking about Sonny Corinthos. You're Claire Walsh, the prosecutor, right?
Love that internet.
Actually, I've seen you in action. My wife is Dr. Robin Scorpio. I was there when she was on the stand.
I guess I should take a better look at the gallery if I'm going to shoot my mouth off at a local pub. So, you're probably not my biggest fan.
Believe it or not, I'd like to thank you. Next round's on me. Bartender. Robin has a long history with Sonny. She has a way of overlooking the bad and only seeing the good. She romanticizes Sonny. I don't. I think Sonny's dangerous and he hides behind all the innocent people that line up to protect him.
It's pretty smart. Makes it impossible to go after Sonny without doing damage to the people who love him.
That's right, they all enable him. They don't realize or care that they're part of the cycle that perpetuates the damage, but you have a distinct advantage.
How so?
You have no emotional ties to any of those people. It frees you up to go after Sonny any way you can. And I have to admit, as a father that's planning to raise his daughter in Port Charles and doesn't want her hit by a stray bullet from a mob shootout, I hope to God you do what you can and put Sonny in jail where he belongs.